Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to another weekend preview on the channel, previewing all of this weekend's Premier League and Championship action. And I don't think there's a big game to kick off with than the two title favourites going head to head, Chelsea and Man City. Yeah, I can't wait for this. Chelsea just look unstoppable at the moment with their form under Tuchel recently, performance last week. City had a bit of a dip last week, with Chelsea at home this time as well. I actually see Chelsea getting the win here, and that really makes the title race interesting. I'm going to say 1-0 Chelsea. Before moving on, Manchester United host Aston Villa at 12:30 in the Premier League. And yeah, this is a big game for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Obviously out of the League Cup now, which was disappointing for them. So yeah, they want to win here to get back in, get everyone back on side, and I'm pretty sure they will do. Villa are a good side. They kind of look like they're settling a bit based on that win over Everton last weekend, but I think United will have enough here. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on, Everton host Norwich at Goodison Park in the Premier League. And yeah, this has to be a must-win game for Everton, really. They're going really, really well, but they seem to have dipped off a bit recently, with that, obviously that loss to QPR in the League Cup and Villa last weekend. Norwich, however, they haven't got a point yet, and yeah, if we're being honest, they just don't look great at all. So I think Everton will see this as a big opportunity to, kind of just get their season back on track, and I think they will do. I'll say 2-0. Moving on, Leeds host Watford in the Premier League at Ellen Road, and this is an interesting one. I've been so impressed with West Ham this season. I was expecting them to dip off slightly, but they haven't done that at all, and they're actually flying along at the moment. Then you've got Leeds. It's fair to say they've not had the best start so far this season, but I'm still expecting it to be a close game. However, I do think West Ham just have a tiny bit extra at the moment, and I think that will see them over the line. 1-0. Leicester host Burnley at the King Power Stadium in the Premier League this weekend. And Leicester, I think it's fair to say it's been a bit of a mixed bag to the season for them. They're currently sat in 12th place at the moment. They definitely would have wanted more from the season, I'm sure. But Burnley, I think it's fair to say they haven't had the best start to the season either. 1 point from 5 games. So yeah, Leicester will be treating this as a must-win game to get back in contention for those European spots. And I do think they will do. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on, Watford host Newcastle in the Premier League. And yeah, this is an interesting one. Watford losing to Stoke in midweek, only the Carabao Cup, so can't read too much into it, but it wasn't a great result. Newcastle, obviously, the pressure's really heating up on Steve Bruce again. So yeah, this is an interesting one. I think both teams will be targeting to get on the win on the board, because it's a winnable game for both sides, but I think Watford are in a better state at the moment. I think they'll nick it. Moving on, Brentford host Liverpool at the Brentford Community Stadium. And yeah, Brentford, they're flying at the moment. 2-0 away win last weekend and a 7-0 win in midweek. Obviously it was only Oldham, but still. But Liverpool, they've won the last 4 games and they're looking really, really solid at the moment. I haven't really thought of them as title contenders, but soon I'm going to have to with the way they're going at the moment. And yeah, 2-0 to Liverpool. I think they will have too much for Brentford here. Moving on then to Sunday's game, starting off with Southampton versus Wolves in the Premier League. And yeah, this is an interesting one. Southampton, obviously picking up that great point at Man City in the week. They seem to be draw specialists at the moment. They've drawn the last 4 games, excluding the penalty shootout against Sheffield United. So yeah, no one's get some wins on the board here against the Wolves team who's lost the last 2 games in all competitions. However, I am leaning towards another draw. I think these 2 teams are so evenly matched, to be honest. Moving on, and Arsenal Tottenham on Sunday afternoon, and yeah, I can't wait for this one, even though it's kind of, you could argue it's a mid-table game at the moment. It's always great watching these teams go against one another. And Arsenal, after all the early season pressure on Mikel Arteta, they've won the last 4 games now. Good for him, he's really starting to improve, I think, against the Tottenham side, who, dips a bit, but I still think it'll be close. I think it'll be high scoring. I'm going to say 2-2. Moving on, Palace host Brighton in the Monday Night Football. And yeah, this is another interesting one. Another one where, let's say, the fans aren't particularly fond of each other. And yeah, Palace, obviously losing 3-0 to Liverpool last time out, but I'm still hugely excited about Palace. They've got a really good squad. And Brighton, they're absolutely flying at the moment. Won again last time out against Leicester, beat Swansea as well. But yeah, I don't think this will be easy for them at all, and I'm not even sure they will get the win, to be honest. I think Palace might hold them 1-1. Moving on then to the Championship, and on Friday night there's two games, starting off with Coventry versus Peterborough. I think it's fair to say Coventry have been the surprise package in the Championship this season. Who has said they'd be level on points with West Brom and Fulham after 8 games? Certainly not me. And against the Peterborough side, they got a 3-0 win last time out, but except for that, it hasn't really gone to plan for them. And yeah, that makes me think, I think Coventry will have too much for them here, and I think it will be a 1-0 win. Moving on, West Brom host QPR at the Hawthorns. And yeah, this is a game where both teams need to kind of get back on track. QPR in the league, just 1 point from the last 3 games, or 0 from the last 2. West Brom, they've drawn the last 3 games. So yeah, both teams need to get back on track to continue their playoff push. But I think West Brom here will just have that bit too much quality for QPR. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on, Reading host Middlesbrough in the Championship at midday on Saturday. And yeah, Reading, it seems like they could get a points deduction. So yeah, this game is absolutely crucial for them against Middlesbrough, who haven't quite clicked this season. I think it's fair to say 2-1 defeat at home to Blackpool last time out, while Reading beating Fulham away. Kind of a big difference there. And I think Reading will want to build some momentum because they need to make up points now. And I think they will do. I think it'll be tight and scrappy, but I'm going to say a 1-0 Reading win. Moving on, Birmingham hosts Preston at St Andrews. Birmingham, they were having a pretty good start to the season until the last 2 games, with a 3-0 defeat away to Peterborough and a 4-1 defeat to Fulham. So yeah, they need to pick up their form right now against the Preston side, who they're draw specialists at the moment, but I think Birmingham are capable of beating them, and I think they will do. I'm going to say 1-0. Next up, Blackburn take on Cardiff at Ewood Park in the Championship on Saturday. And yeah, this is another interesting one. Blackburn in 6th in the table, Cardiff in 10th in the table. I think both teams have had a solid enough start to the season, but for Cardiff, they've now lost 4 of the last 5 games. They were getting really excited by them, but yeah, it's gone downhill considerably, so they need to pick it up against the Blackburn side, who's been playing really well though. It definitely won't be easy. However, I do think this is the sort of game where Cardiff will turn it around. I kind of fancy a 2-0 away win. However, moving on, Blackpool host Barnsley in the Championship, and this is an interesting one. Blackpool 2-1 win away last time out against Borough. Barnsley, they've been struggling recently, I think it's fair to say, under Marcus Scott. So that will be an improvement. And yeah, Blackpool, I don't think it'll be an easy game for them. But yeah, I think it's a game that could go either way. However, I do think Barnsley will be able to nick it. I'll say 1-0. Moving on, Bournemouth host Luton in the Championship at the Vitality. And yeah, this is a big game for Bournemouth. They've won the last 3 and are sitting at the top of the Championship table by 2 points. When it looked like they were going on a downward spiral. So yeah, to keep that up, they'll want to win this one. Against the Luton side, who's mid-table, they're doing okay, but kind of expect them to kick on a bit more in the early stage of the season, but still plenty of time. Drawn the last 4, but I think that streak will come to an end with another Bournemouth win here. Bristol City host Fulham in the Championship at Aston Gate. And yeah, Fulham, they'll be desperate to bounce back after that defeat to Reading last time out. Bristol City, however, 2-1 win away to QPR last time, 9th in the table. They're actually having a really solid season compared to what I thought they'd have. But yeah, I think this one is a bit of a free hit for them, whereas Fulham, this is a much bigger game for them, and they probably need to win this, so I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on, Forest host Millwall in the Championship in Steve Cooper's first game as the manager. And yeah, this is an interesting one. Steve Cooper, I think it's a very good appointment, but I thought the same about Chris Hughton. So yeah, you just never know with Forest at the moment. Against the Millwall side, who, I think it's fair to say, 17th in the table, would have expected a bit more from this season so far, but still plenty of time to improve. However, I think this will be a close game, and I can see Millwall holding them here. Before moving on, Sheffield United host Crisis Club Derby. And yeah, what can you say really? Such a tough week for Derby, but obviously did themselves massively proud last time out of that win over Stoke. Before Sheffield United, it seems like they're starting to pick up a bit now, excluding the penalty loss, because that counts as a draw in my opinion. They're unbeaten in 5 now, 6 even. So yeah, they're definitely improving, and I think I fancy them here. I think it'll be quite a comfortable win. I'll say 2 now. Moving on, Stoke host Hull in the Championship, and yes, Stoke they need a bounce back after that loss to Derby last time out and a draw with Barnsley before. I know they got a win away to Watford, but yeah, really at least the main priority for them. Still in 5th place, still had a great start to the season, but yeah, they feel like I think they could be doing better. As for Hull, it's been really bad for them since the opening day of the season. They desperately need to find a result from somewhere. And I can't see it being here. I think Stoke have got the W in the bag. Before moving on, Swansea host Huddersfield in the Championship. And Swansea, it's not been going well for Swansea, has it? Winless in 5 games now. They don't look too great. Good on the eye, but yeah, they're just not creating much. As for Huddersfield, very inconsistent. 2 wins, 3 losses in the last 5. It's just about finding the consistency, but they still had a very good start under Corberán, much better than I expected. But I think Swansea will nick this one, actually. I'm going to say 1-0. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. So like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter. Thank you so much for for daily football news. And subscribe to my channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.